Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte are suing right-wing podcast. French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte are suing right-wing podcaster and conspiracy theorist Candace Owens. The defamation lawsuit filed today in Delaware claims that Owens has engaged in a, quote, relentless and unjustified smear campaign against the couple. The complaint goes on to allege that Owens spread outrageous conspiracy theories that France's first lady could be a man, that the Macrons are related in committing incest, and that the Macrons, the couple, is being controlled by the CIA. Obviously, those are deranged claims. In response to the filing, Owens posted a screenshot of a news story about the lawsuit on her Instagram page and wrote, "I will be coming for this wig today. Stay tuned." Owens has, of course, a history of all sorts of deranged conspiracy theories and vile anti-Semitic rhetoric. She was temporarily suspended from YouTube for anti-LGBT comments. Joining us now to discuss is Tom Clare, the lawyer.
Shout out Candace Owens, though. I ain't gonna lie, she lit for that one. But let's be real. I even looked into this, guys, and I'm just like, bro. All right, look. The Candace claims that she's a man. Now, this has been going on for like over damn near 2 years, guys. She's been cracking down on this for a while. The fact that Brigitte Macron hasn't came out and just released a damn pic of herself as a young lady back in the day, or her holding her kids that she's claimed that she had and all this wild stuff, she just keeps on throwing out these court cases that later get dropped. Like, she's attacked Candace in court before, and I mean, it ain't going nowhere. So, yeah. Instead of just releasing proof, it's like she's just trying to scare Candace through the courts. And I mean, maybe she forgot where Candace lives, but hey, we live in America. You better prove that this is defamation, or she don't got to stop talking.
For the Macrons, Emmanuel and Brigitte. And we should note that if people recognize you, they might remember you from the Dominion case suing Fox News for defamation, which resulted in a $787.5 million settlement from Fox, but who's counting? So the lawsuit claims that this has been a year-long campaign by Candace Owens. Why are the Macrons suing now? Like, what changed? Why sue now?
Well, this was really a last resort. We have attempted to engage with her for the last year, putting evidence in front of her, request after request after request, that she just simply do the right thing. This is not a legal thing. Do the right thing, tell the truth, stop spreading these lies. And each time we've done that, she mocked the Macrons. She mocked our efforts to set the record straight. She refused to retract what she had said.
No, all she did is say no. She wrote these guys a letter and say, look, just say yes or no. Can you guys provide proof that Brigitte Macron's a man? Can you guys go ahead and send me a picture of her having a kid? Send me her birth certificate. Send me anything. Bro, they can't even give you a fucking birth certificate. This is how deep it is right now. So when I say I'm a believer, bro, I've even tried to come at this as a doubter, and I'm just like, bro, French first lady, oh man, that's crazy. But they haven't been able to refute it, though. She hasn't been able to prove it. This is what makes it kind of like, ooh. I mean, you want to create a defamation lawsuit, but when this goes to discovery, I'm wondering, will they keep this up? Because they've already tried to scare Candace through the course before, and it ain't work. I mean, them taking it to defamation is the next level, but why didn't y'all just, come out with the proof? You've been bothering Candace about this for a year and a half now. Now it goes up to a defamation case. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see them prove it.
She started a merch campaign. She's selling T-shirts mocking and celebrating her defamation of them. And enough is enough. It was time to hold her accountable for this campaign.
So your lawsuit alleges, quote, every time the Macrons leave their home, they do so knowing that countless people have heard and many believe these vile fabrications. It is invasive, dehumanizing, and deeply unjust. Some people out there.
Every time a crow leave their home, they do so knowing that the countless people have heard and may believe these vile fabrication. It is invasive, dehumanizing, and deeply unjust. You are a man. Like, look, I get it. You've been lying to everybody for years, talking about you're this woman. You have a pedophile relationship with Emmanuel Macron since the man was a kid. Yeah, I mean, according to all the evidence, I mean, you gotta say something, dude.
Might think, really, the
show us
first
a
couple
picture
of France can't leave their home in France without worrying that people believe the deranged nonsense from this American podcaster?
It should be
Yeah, what people don't really understand, and a lot of people can go on TV and talk about the president, talk about the first lady, you know, pundits can get on and talk about them, but what people forget is these are human beings. These are a married couple.
crazy.
They have a social life, they have a private life together, they have the same feelings and the same hurt from these sorts of defamatory statements.
Then just prove that she's not a man. It's that easy. Just show us a picture. Just it would have been so easy to debunk this. I don't know why she hasn't done it. Like I said, this has been going on for like a year and a half, damn near 2 years. Like Candace, like, bro, this is nothing like new. If you guys who are just tuning in think that Candace just started talking about this 2 months ago or 2 weeks ago, no, it's damn near been 2 years.
Statements as anybody would, and it does have a material impact on them. It is, you know, it's incredibly upsetting to have this said year after year, and this sort of falsehood is a cancer, and it metastasizes into obviously the media, but it also metastasizes into other circles that they're running in. They get asked about it, of course, even in the circles that they run in. They get asked about these campaigns, and they shouldn't have to go through that.
It's pretty horrible. I mean, she also engages in Holocaust denial and all sorts of anti-Semitism. She just posted a video reacting to the lawsuit. She calls it a, quote, obvious and desperate public relations strategy. What's your response?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank her for that reaction to the lawsuit. She's only helping us with our claim for punitive damages by expressing no remorse and obviously doubling down on these falsehoods.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's going to feel the same way about this being a public relations stunt after her deposition and after she has to sit for trial.
So
I mean, yeah, she's ready to do all that. That's the funny thing is, though, Candace has been threatening or asking for y'all to put her through deposition for a while now. And then she also asked you guys to sit there and show proof that Brigitte Macron's a man. So it kind of seems like you guys are trying to do the legal attack on Candace without providing no proof that, well, Brigitte Macron's a woman. I mean, first off, I'll provide the proof first, then we can go ahead and talk about the defamation on Candace. But you got to show us proof.
you're alleging that Candace Owens made these allegations despite knowing that they were false.
Nope.
I don't know that she knows they're false.
Yeah, I don't think she thinks they're false either. I mean, bro, you don't do a whole 4 or 5 part series, then have the guy who started the story, Xavier something. I'm trying to Xavier Pouzard or something like that. He's a French reporter who was breaking this story with the help of another female reporter who I can't record her name right now. So this story's been going on for a minute. It's like, it's not just her she's fighting at this point. Like, Candace has been talking about this. She had these 2 people on. She's a believer. She's not doing this as a way to just lie about the first lady. And think about it like this. What benefit does Candace get about lying about the French first lady? Like, what political benefit in America does that gain her? Nothing. She just did it because she walked across the story. Somebody threw it across for her. She didn't believe it. She looked into it, and now she's a believer. That's how we're here today.
I mean, she says a lot of crazy, just completely insane, hateful stuff about Jews, about the Holocaust, about, like, I don't know what she knows to be true or not. She says a lot of lies. How do you know that she's lying as opposed to a deeply disturbed individual? Well, it could be both, of course.
It's one of the reasons why our complaint is 219 pages long. We wanted to lay out exactly that. We wanted to explain to the court, and we wanted to explain to the people that will see our lawsuit how we can prove that she knows it's false. We allege that there's evidence that she knew it was false when she started this campaign over a year ago. She started relying on things she knew was discredited. But then over the past year, when we have put this information directly in front of her, even if you want to give her a pass for the early crazy stuff that she said, after we put facts and information in front of her, black and white, multiple times.
What? Like her, the first lady's birth certificate? Like what kind of facts?
Yeah, we have laid out extensive evidence in our complaint demonstrating that she was born a woman. She's always been a woman, and the allegations of CIA control conspiracy and the incest and all the other.
Yeah, that was also the wild card there. She went she went past Brigitte Macron, focused on Emmanuel Macron, connected him to a Rothschild, said that he might be an incest baby, said that, bro, Brigitte Macron might be Emmanuel Macron's uncle, and this is a pedophile incestual relationship. I was like, bro, what? Whoa. Whoa, now that was a reach right there. I mean, the whole Madame Macron or Brigitte Macron being a man, that's tough enough to take in. All of that of what I just told you, I was like, all right, hold on now. Yeah, like you're gonna have to roll that one out, slow roll that one for me.
Things are demonstrably false. Putting aside the fact that they're all inherently implausible, what you said at the outset is obviously really important. In our system, if you're making an inherently implausible allegation,
I mean, come on, guys. I mean, does that look like a woman? Like, come on, bro. She does look like she just got the most basic wig on. You can just snatch that wig off whenever you want. Like, I don't know, guys. Yeah, but hey, I don't know. Some of y'all might like that.
the standard is higher. You have to come forward with better evidence.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking and I look like a female to me.
If you're going to say it, she has none of it. All she's done is mock them and ridiculed them and repeated it.
There are a bunch of these hate mongers out there that have been saying the same thing about Michelle Obama, the former First Lady of the United States. Do you think she should sue?
Well, I haven't looked at her claim, but I believe that everybody.
Oh no, because nobody went balls to the wall on Michelle Obama. That's the thing. Nobody said I'll stake my career on Michelle Obama being a man. That's not me saying it, but nobody said that. Candace Owens literally said I stake my career on that Brigitte Macron is a man. I was even like, oh, okay. So yeah, you really believe this? And I'm just like, and when she laid out her evidence and all this stuff, I became a believer too. I'm like, yeah, it is a bit sus how she's not laid out no information for the past year and a half, and now you want to do something. I mean, maybe let's be real. Maybe they threw it under the rug because it probably wasn't be talking about all that much. But once Candace Owens released the series, oh man, I mean, that's when it really took off. The Candace Owens Brigitte Macron series, banger. It was a banger. I ain't gonna lie.
Has a right to their
You should
reputation.
watch it, guys.
And I think our Constitution makes that very clear.
You should watch it. It was a good watch. I mean, it was very entertaining. Shout out Hellbat. He says, funny part is that they sent a cease and desist to Candace response with prove it. Wait, hold on. My bad. But funny part is that they sent a cease and dismiss Candace response with prove it. They threatened with lawsuit, and finally 2 years later, they're gonna lose. I read that right?
Their defamation is not protected by the First Amendment. And if it's impacting Michelle Obama or anybody else, they have a right to access our court system and have a trial. In our system, that's the way we determine truth or falsity. We do it in court, we do it with rules, we do it with legal standards, and it's a place where evidence matters. And that's why we've taken Candace.
My bad, Hellbat. He said, funny part is that they sent a cease and dismiss Candace response with proof they threatened with lawsuit. And finally, 2 years later, they're going to lose. You know, we're going to see. Like I said, like everything got to go to discovery now. I mean, here's the thing. I have a bit of confidence now in Brigitte Macron because she finally done, escalated this to an, defamation, which it is if Candace is wrong. So, but here's the thing about defamation. Now we got to go to discovery. I mean, now you guys got to really prove that Brigitte Macron's a man, and Candace gets to prove how she's not. There we go. And then you also got to prove that she did this under the pretext of, oh, she knew it was wrong. She did it for salacious reasons, just to, I guess, go against the first lady for whatever random reason they come up with. Because Candace has no stake in France. She just did it as a story. So I doubt they can prove that she did this on purpose.
To court where we can actually have a trial on the truth.
You're asking for punitive damages. How much money do you want? And do you want her to apologize?
Well, we'd love an apology, of course. A court can't order her to apologize. And based on her conduct, especially today, we don't expect her to do anything other than double down. We'll put forward our damage claim at trial. But if she continues to double down between now and the time of trial, it'll be a substantial award.
Well, can you give me an idea? Are we talking about, I mean, the last time you were involved in something, the settlement was $787.5 million. That was Fox News for their many, many lies about Dominion Software. Fox News. But are you looking for that kind of settlement? She doesn't have $787.5 million.
Well, you look at what happened with Alex Jones, and there are juries understand that there is an inherently large value to somebody's reputation. And if you're going to say these vile things, and if you're going to repeat them to a significant audience, as she has over 5 million followers. And her lies have metastasized into actual publications. So we see other publications that pick up on it and they report on it. And when you ask them, when we reached out to them and say, what's your basis for this? They point back to her.
What are the other publications?
They're detailed in the complaint. We've seen Newsweek, New York Post, and others have pointed to her as the source of their reporting on this.
But they're asserting it as if it's true based on what Candace Owens is saying?
That's what his name. Xavier Poussard is the main one who reported on this. So look up Xavier Poussard and you'll find out all his work on the whole Brigitte Macron's a man thing. Like, it didn't start from Candace. It started from that guy. And they're trying to sue that guy, and that's not working out for them. They're trying to sue the French people who came up with the story, and they lost legal battles to these guys. What makes you think they're going to win against Candace? And shout out my man Hellback. He's like, plus getting called trans is now defamatory? Dems. You know what? That's crazy, though. I mean, I thought y'all would consider that an honor. Like, what you mean? Trans people are all right. It's like when they try to call us gay, and I'm like, well, hold on, aren't y'all the main supporter of gay people? Like, y'all try to come at people's sexuality. I'm like, hold on, aren't y'all the most inclusive? So, I mean, hold on, how y'all really feel then about gay people? I mean, they should probably check y'all on that. But shout out to my man Fox Shakes. He says, what we really want to know is Michelle is a dude. Oh, come on. God damn it, Fox. What we really want to know is if Michelle's a dude. You know, that would also be a good case too, but I think I think Candace knew better than to go at Michelle, because maybe, just maybe. Because here's the thing, the whole Brigitte Macron being a man got me side-eyeing Michelle, but I honestly think Michelle's a woman, though. It's funny to say she's a man, but she's a woman.
They repeat what Candace has said, and they cite her as a source. And so when they fall back
until further proof comes out that she's a man, she's a woman. For now,
back on her, but she is at the epicenter of this campaign. That's why we picked her. That's why we're going for her, is because she is the one whose lies are metastasizing and spreading. And she, under our system of defamation, is liable for all those republications.
Are you not worried at all that the fact is that this is a disturbed individual, Candace Owens, who loves attention, loves the fact that we're talking about her on CNN? She doesn't, whatever happened to her as a child, like, she doesn't care that the attention's negative. She just likes it.
Yeah.
And you're bringing her more?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously goes into the mix, and we did not do this as our first choice, but Jake, if that mindset allowed the Macrons to sit back, that's how disinformation takes root.
Right.
That's how disinformation wins, is you've got to take that first step, and you've got to take a principled step. And I applaud the Macrons for their courage in taking this on.
All right, Tom Claire, thanks so much for being here.
You know what? And I guess we can get to Candace's reactions if y'all want to, because it is a bit, you know what, why not? Let's hear Candace double down on this, and let's see what she got to say. Like, let's be fair.
You know what? It's one of my favorite movies, and there may never be a more appropriate time in my life for me to roll this clip. So let's roll it.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
That's why you're here. That's why you're here. That's how I feel right now. Me receiving my papers today.
Man.
By the way, another lovely individual who delivered those papers to me. I really got to say, Tennessee, we are absolutely crushing it. The people that deliver the papers are just fantastic. They're so kind. They're always fans of mine. Anyways, I am floored. Are you floored? Because this is just goofy. You are officially a very goofy man, Brigitte. I got to give it to you. You've definitely got balls. Fire everybody around you. And I mean literally everyone around.
Let's go. She said you got balls, Brigitte. Oh, let's go. Hey, nah, you right. She did double down.
Around you who told you that this was a good idea, that this was a very good idea for you to be the first sitting first lady of a country to file a lawsuit against a journalist of another country. You are literally making history in all the wrong ways.
I'm sorry, guys. I need to go back to that. That was just like epic Candace moment right now. This will go down in one of Candace's best moments. Brigitte, you got some balls.
Anyways, I am floored. Are you floored? Because this is just goofy. You are officially a very goofy man, Brigitte. But I got to give it to you. You've definitely got balls. Fire everybody around you. And I mean literally everyone around you who told you that this was a good idea, that this was a very good idea for you to be the first sitting first lady of a country to file a lawsuit against a journalist of another country. You are literally making history in all the wrong ways. And I want to be very clear here, right at the top, that this is obvious, very clear that it is an obvious and desperate public relations strategy. That's what this is. Where do we even begin? Okay, so let's rewind this. In case you're new here, a few weeks ago, Brigitte finally lost her defamation claim against two journalists, which was taking place for years, by the way, over in France. It was the most viral story worldwide.
Yeah, she had a defamation claim against Xavier Poussard, who first claimed that she was a man. She lost that. And then against another female reporter, she just lost that one. But that one, it wasn't even about the claims about her being a man, though.
Everyone's going, okay, obviously something is here. She's been clinging to this defamation claim, saying, oh, well, I'm suing them for defamation, and this is not true. And Brigitte's world, therefore, came crashing down.
And shout out to my man Hellbat. He says, what do you call a female teabag? A flippuccino?
Because that was her only effective PR strategy. That was the only thing that they used to dissuade the rumors that she was born a man. It was an absolute farce of a lawsuit, which relied upon the public not knowing the details of the lawsuit at all. In short, the lawsuit was not about whether or not she was born a man. Okay, that's not the claims of defamation that she was bringing against them, but rather it was very particular, and it was about whether or not Natasha Ray and Amandine Roy misspoke when Natasha said that a document that they had received throughout their investigation appeared to her to be fraudulent. I mean, they were getting really petty. She basically was like, if you make a mistake, I'm going to sue you for defamation. And of course, when you're working with people who won't answer basic questions, you are bound to make little mistakes. But like I said, Brigitte's entire PR strategy hinged upon public ignorance. And then the public ignorance went away when I did the Becoming Brigitte series, because people realized you only have to get one episode into that thing, okay? You realize these are not...
Actually, she also did an Epstein series as well. So I can actually show you some stuff from that as well, too. Let me know if we want to keep on going with the Candace stuff, but I do have other stories to get into as well.
Outlandish allegations. These are not allegations coming from the quote-unquote far right or the quote-unquote far left. These are not allegations that are coming from deep on a Reddit feed, okay? This is the reality. It is a couple in reality that has been involved in way too many pedophilic scandals, okay? Scandals that are related in some way or another to pedophiles. People that they've worked with, people that they were friends with, artists that they've hired.
I mean, yeah, the fact that Emmanuel Macron has a pedophilic novelist, or a pedo novelist, and a pedophilic art around him is a bit strange.
Things just didn't look right. Then, of course, I invited you guys to recognize that the press in France lied about their origin story. They lied about everything. They tried to present them as some modern couple, telling us that she was so hot, she was Claudia Schiffer.
Yeah, and I mean, they did try to portray Brigitte Macron back in the day as this extremely hot lady that was back in the day. And when they showed this picture, I was like, hold on, what, you talking about her? I mean, she ain't all that cute. They was like, no, her. Yeah, her. This is the extremely hot lady that captivated all the French boys on campus, guys. I mean, what a looker. What a beautiful lady. Oh, wow.
And yeah, even though he was 14, she was just irresistible. And then you see this picture.
Oh, wow.
And you're going, what? That's a picture? The hot teacher that the press was trying to sell so people wouldn't question this odd relationship. A person that's 40 being attracted, or alleged to be 40, I actually think Brigitte's older than that, is attracted to a 14-year-old boy. That's disgusting.
Yep.
It's perverted no matter what.
Yeah, but Brigitte met Emmanuel Macron in theater, in theater class or whatever theater course he was taking as a young man. And that is when Emmanuel Macron fell in love with this oh so attractive lady who was just the spitting image of female beauty, which is Brigitte Macron. Am I right, guys? What a looker.
Is an incredibly perverted story, which centers around individuals who happen to surround themselves with other perverts. That's the reality. You cannot look away from that. And then, of course, right about the time that President Donald Trump personally called me and told me that Emmanuel Macron asked him to order me to just stop talking about his wife's penis.
True story.
Then the world knew something was going on here.
Which is true. Donald Trump did call Candace and ask her to drop the Brigitte Macron story, pretty much saying, look, Candace, I'm trying to get this deal done with the Europeans and the Ukraines. All right, man. And this man is holding us up because you're talking about his wife being a man. I mean, like, Candace, you think you can just, hush things up until, later on? And Candace did. She was told this at the beginning of the year in February, and that's exactly what she did. She literally held off on going on the Brigitte Macron series and then popped up out of nowhere explaining why. And it was that Trump asked her to stop. And she did. She put a pause on it.
Because that's not normal. That is completely not normal for a sitting president to get on a plane, to come over and visit another sitting president, discuss Ukraine and Russia negotiations for world peace, and then to take him to the side and say, hey, so do you know Candace Owens, this podcaster? Yeah, that was the moment where the world went, it's over, pack it up, go home. There's clearly something here. So Brigitte is now pivoting strategies. That's what's happening here. I told you already that they went to market in America to hire a crisis PR team on American soil. Again, a sitting president of a foreign country trying to hire a crisis PR team in America, that's not normal. And it is more than likely, and I'm surmising here, that crisis PR team was the one that gave them this advice. After they lost against Amandine Roy, Natasha Ray, they probably said, file another lawsuit. We know you can't win that lawsuit, but it doesn't matter. We just need you to file the lawsuit for the sake of press, that you can again say to people, well, it's not true because look, I'm suing Candace Owens. If you need any more evidence that Brigitte Macron is definitely a man, it is just what is happening right now. The idea that you would file this lawsuit is all of the proof that you need. Okay. I have been in communication with their lawyers, or via our lawyers, like their lawyers and my lawyers have been speaking, phone calls, emails since January. She's now named her law firm. I protected that, but now we can tell you it's Claire Locke. Okay. Claire Locke is representing Brigitte, and Emmanuel Macron has been in communication with us for months, and yet they did not send us a copy of the lawsuit. They did not give my lawyer a heads up that they were filing a lawsuit, but they did instead opt to give this lawsuit ahead of time to the Financial Times, the New York Times,
CNN. I mean, that's the guy she's talking about right there, her lawyer. Yes, they released it. They released that lawsuit to everybody but Candace. So when that dude came on there and said, oh no, she's seen the lawsuit, excuse me, but that was a lie.
CBS News, what does that tell you? It's a PR strategy. They don't care if they win. This is about running it through the press. And how much PR are we talking here? Claire Locke, Tom Locke, or Tom Claire, whatever his name is, they actually uploaded the lawsuit to their website, and then they gave CBS News a link to the uploaded lawsuit before I had been served, before my lawyer was even informed about it. I found out with all of you. I found out with the world. I found out from the Financial Times that I was being sued by the first couple of France. Not normal, guys. And even in the Financial Times, this is what's really funny, despite getting the exclusive on this story, and they must have gotten it yesterday, by the way, they definitely had to have received it at least yesterday, maybe even before then, because I think 3 people worked on the article. So this is not like they were breaking news. It was quite a long article. But even the Financial Times, despite getting the exclusive, they're kind of stating the obvious in the piece. They're like, yeah, this is a pretty steep mountain to scale. This has kind of never been done.
Hey, yo, and shout out Misfit Supervisor for sending a floating heart for 10 jewels. Appreciate the support, sis.
Done in the history of the world. Not sure what's up here. Specifically, the article reads, quote, the suit is a rare case of a serving world leader personally suing an online influencer over their content. It goes on to read, the Macrons face a high legal bar since U.S. defamation laws require public figures to show actual malice, meaning the person knew the information was false or had a reckless disregard for the truth. Making matters even more hilarious is the preschool principle that they have established here as the basis for their lawsuit. This is a quote from their lawyer. Given to the Financial Times, it reads, quote, Owens has dissected their appearance, their marriage, their friends, their family, and their personal history, twisting it all into a grotesque narrative designed to inflame and degrade, the Macron said in their filing. The result is relentless bullying on a worldwide scale. Okay, so my first question is, how old are you? Are you 5 years old? Really? This is bullying, is what you're coming at me with, which, by the way, is exactly what they're coming at Xavier Poussard with, which I should mention now. Xavier Poussard is not being sued for defamation. He's the one that wrote the book that I based my entire report on. They're not suing him for defamation. No. They're going, you're a bully. We're going to sue you. And then we're going to launch this lawsuit against Candace in the United States, not against you as a French citizen, because we know we can't.
Yeah, Xavier Poussard wrote the book, came up with the whole story report on Brigitte Macron being a man. But like I said, they're kind of letting this man ride off into the sunset all the way to Italy. But Candace, they're on her. They're on her ass.
Win this, but it doesn't matter because courts take a long time to establish that. And in the meantime, we can just say, finally, that we're suing her. Secondly, the audacity for Brigitte Macron to call me a bully. When we just watched Brigitte physically assault her husband on the world stage, you pummeled him. You beat him. You're the bully. You're over here. Oh, I don't like Candace's words. You whooped your husband in front of the entire world on a plane. You're the bully. You're the bully, Brigitte. And you've been bullying him, I would bet, since he was 14 years old. I think you've been grooming him. And that's the worst kind of bullying in my viewpoint. By the way, I want to read you this from their lawsuit because I obviously have not had time to read all of this, right? The Financial Times reported that the lawsuit also says that their filing includes a description of the circumstances in which they met. The president was a 15-year-old student at a Jesuit high school in Amiens when he first encountered Brigitte, then a 39-year-old married teacher with 3 children. So much of that is not true. Again, they're trying to say he's 15, he was 14. According to the filings, they, quote, formed a deeper intellectual connection when she directed a production of the 1971 Milan Kundera play.
So how the heck you get an intellectual relationship with a 15-year-old boy is beyond me. But then again, I've heard of teachers doing that, and we still judge them. So it's not uncommon, but to become first lady after doing so is crazy.
Jack and his master, in which Macron played the lead role. And later, the two began meeting regularly to collaborate on another play. Their relationship, quote, remained within the bounds of the law, the filings say. But when the teenager's parents found out about his, quote, strong feelings for his teacher, they moved him to a different school. Before he left, he told her, whatever you do, I will marry you. Dude, you're such a creep. Like the fact that you're stating this as a defense, and you're not even telling the truth here, okay? Because you can't ignore the facts of how old he was when he was in that play. You just can't. So happy to go through this in court. But do you realize how creepy you are? How creepy this sounds? His parents then took him away because I'm disgusting, right? Because I'm a creep. Because I had power over this student and tried to seduce him, not because I looked like Claudia Schiffer, because I'm just like a creepy old man. Like that's what happened here. And you stating this is like, oh, it's so disgusting. Anyways, you have to also appreciate that their lawyer told the Financial Times that they're willing to fly to the United States for this lawsuit, right? They are willing to commute to the United States, to Delaware courts where they filed this. But they were unwilling for some reason to allow us to fly to France to interview Brigitte, which we offered to do before we started the series. They were also unwilling to simply answer our yes or no questions that we emailed to them so that we could ascertain facts. We did all of this before we aired the first episode, which makes the opening lines of their lawsuit especially egregious. It's just the audacious, it's like the audacity of the lies that Claire Locke is now telling. This is what they write in their opening complaint. This is Claire Locke, ready? Can you pull up the opening lines where they say that we didn't allow them? Yeah. It says, in March of 2024, Candace, a right-wing podcaster, told the world that she would stake her entire professional reputation on the fact that Brigitte Macron is, in fact, a man, and then goes on to say, rather than engaging with President and Mrs. Macron's attempts to set the record straight, Owens mocked them and used them as additional fodder for her frenzied fan base. Okay, that's very interesting. So now we can just go ahead and show you when they contacted us. Actually, what they said was, she does not have to answer your questions about whether or not she is and always has been a woman. And we went back and told them, no, actually you do. And here are some more questions, and we're willing to sit down for an interview.
I mean, yeah, if you want to claim defamation, I mean, you're going to have to kind of say that you straightened me out first and I still reported those lies. That's kind of the whole point of a defamation case, is that one, you set me straight and Candace still went out, or I still went out. That's kind of how it's like lining up right now. So if they was to just give Candace the interview and Brigitte Macron was to tell her, all right, look, this is how I'm a woman. It's been this, and that. And Candace still went out and said, no, she's a man after she done provided proof that she was a woman. That's defamation. Yes. So the fact that they did not give her any proof at all, they can't prove that, oh, well, she's doing this out of ill intent. She knows she's in the wrong with this. No, she don't. Obviously, she don't, because you guys never try to set her straight. You said, no, you don't deserve to ask these questions. We're above this. I mean, come on now.
Went into my computer today, found that letter we sent to them, and typed in the word interview to see how many times we mentioned the prospect of flying out to interview them. Again, we sent this letter to them before we ran the first episode of the show. So this was in early January. Let's pull up what we wrote here. Second, my lawyer tells them, your insistence that Mrs. Macron outright refuses to provide evidence of her gender alone creates significant reason to doubt her counsel-filtered denials. As such, Candace is interested in having Mrs. Macron comment on this controversy, and, as detailed below, Candace now extends Mrs. Macron a full opportunity to rebut the allegations at issue here. Should Mrs. Macron decline this opportunity, that fact, too, precludes a claim of actual malice. Okay, we can go on here. Elsewhere in this letter in which we wrote back to them, we wrote here, you state, because they did, that Mrs. Macron, and we quoted them here, does not owe Candace proof that she is and always has been a woman. But you are wrong for several reasons, and your statement on the matter, which we consider to be admissible evidence, precludes your claim of actual malice by itself. Elsewhere in that exact same letter, as my lawyer just completely obliterated all their arguments, we included a subheading that says, questions for a fair and balanced interview. You guys remember this? These are the famous questions they declined to answer. And you can see I was searching the word interview, which is why it's highlighted in yellow here.
I mean, damn, these are some actually good questions. If I can go ahead and read these out for y'all. Why do the Macrons refuse to sue Xavier Passard? He is the initial journalist who published the story in the S.E.T documents, which asserted Brigitte Macron's transition from a man. I mean, 2, why was Brigitte Macron born a biological man, or did she live as a man at any point of her life? I mean, okay. Well, now 3, is the man you showed at President Macron's, let's see here, investories in 2017 and 2022 is the same individual pictured on the far left? Huh. I mean, okay.
It says, as such, we offer any date and time during the months of January, February, and March of 2025 for an interview between Candace and your clients. Candace, her producer, and a videographer will fly to Europe and arrange for a translator and studio in which the Macrons can.
Now, I get some of you guys in the chat saying, I would never have this conversation, all that good stuff. I get it. But if you want to sue Candace for defamation, you would have to have this conversation now. But if you're just going to let her talk and call you a man or whatever, and you're a woman, I mean, then that'll be on you. So if you're not suing Candace Owens for defamation, then you're right. You wouldn't have to have this conversation at all. But you can't try to sue the young lady for defamation and then say, oh, I shouldn't even have to have this conversation. I mean, well, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. If you want to prove that she's defamating your name, or she's coming with slanderous, let's say this slanderous stories about you, then you have to have this uncomfortable, unreasonable, as you guys are saying, conversation.
Answer questions. As you know, the first remedy for a defamation plaintiff is mitigation by, quote, using available opportunities to contradict the lie or correct the error, and thereby to minimize its adverse impact on reputation. We then listed the questions. To facilitate this interview, we offer the following questions in advance. Okay. We then list all of our questions very Simple questions. Did Brigitte Macron ever use the name Veronique? As an example. Number 5, can you identify each child in the Amiens family photograph? Did Brigitte Macron physically give birth to 3 children? I don't know. If I'm trying to avoid being defamed,
which would be a pretty easy proof. Think about it. If she gave birth to 3 children, isn't that as easy as going back on, I don't know, maybe she didn't, take any pictures when she gave birth. Maybe. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. Nothing. No proof that you got a nice little baby right here and you're in the bed. Just look, here's me and my womanhood. It's a bit strange.
Very happily reply, yes, I, Candace Owens, I physically gave birth to 4 children.
But it has to be with Candace.
Okay, elsewhere, we can show you this, how we wrapped up this letter. Here are more of the questions, which you guys are welcome to pause and read in your own time. And then we can show you how we ended it. We urge you to respond to this letter on or before January 23rd, 2025, so we can make arrangements to schedule an interview with the Macrons. We reserve all our clients' rights, claims, and remedies. This letter does not contain a full recitation of the facts underlying this matter. They did not reply to our answers. They did not tell us, yes, we'd like to interview or rebut things and say. They basically just said, she doesn't owe you anything. She's always been a woman. That's not how this works, okay?
Yeah.
This is not how this works. You could have easily provided evidence or answered simple yes or no questions, which we would have said was an actual statement coming from you, but you've refused to do that in this context.
And that's what I'm saying. That's where it looks kind of crazy, because it's well, you want to say that it's defamation, that she's doing this knowing that Brigitte Macron's a woman, but she's saying she's a man. Well, then why didn't y'all just answer the questions? And I mean, let's be real. You could have sent the proof to your lawyer. Your lawyer could have sent it to Candace. I mean, you don't got to talk directly to Candace, but you do have to provide proof if you're trying to make a case about it.
Context, just like you refused to do it overseas. It's why they overturned the defamation claim that you were holding on to, hoping that this would somehow prove that you weren't born a man, something that is so easy to debunk. Hi, where are the first 30 years of your life? Where are the photos of you raising Tefan? There should be so much. You say you have 3 kids. Did you take no photos of you having those kids the first day you held those kids? What about pictures from your wedding day? Tons of pictures from your wedding day. You've only shown that one, which was filtered through by Mimi Marchand, who we're going to talk about in a second. I want to be very clear. It is so obvious what you are doing, okay? You went to the Financial Times as opposed to contacting my lawyer, who you've had contact with. You went to the Financial Times because you're trying to appeal to a very specific type of person, a certain class of people that you have to face now, who now know that you have a penis. Okay, that's beyond obvious. Even in your filing, the filing actually reads this, and I quote, as a result of the false and defamatory accusations and implications published by the defendants, the Macron's relationships with other members of the government, potential political allies, and others have been undermined as a result of the false and defamatory. You are also stating here the Macron's integrity and fitness as political and governmental leaders has been undermined. That's exactly what this is all about. It's about you not wanting to stand across from Kate Middleton, having her glance down quickly and, give a knowing look to William. That's what it is. You're embarrassed. You are embarrassed. And so you want to save face by being like, well, we sued her. Yeah, we know we can't win. We know it's literally an impossible mountain to scale. We know she very clearly has presented a lot of evidence I'm a man. That's why the whole world believes you're a man. Okay. People didn't watch this series. If what I was saying was ridiculous, okay, people would not, this wouldn't have gone viral. It wouldn't have gone viral. It would have been so beyond what anybody could plausibly imagine could be true. They would have said that was weird. I don't know why Candace did 5 hours on this. Instead, we converted people into believers of this story because there was that much evidence to the contrary. While you produced no evidence and won't answer questions, we produced 5 hours of evidence alongside the reporting of Xavier Poussard. Okay. So what you are trying to do with this lawsuit, it's again very obvious, is you're trying to defame me. That's why this lawsuit is littered with factual inaccuracies. It's got all of these points that have nothing to do with the substance of what you're even coming after me for.
Yeah, and already throwing the label of anti-Semite and all that, and the Holocaust denier, which she's not. I mean, she ain't never really said anything about Holocaust denier. I know some real Holocaust deniers, and Candace is not. So we could throw that one out. Now, anti-Semitic for calling out the Israel problem. I mean, come on now. If you're anti-Semitic for calling out Israel, then I mean, fuck it. I mean, like what? Half of America's anti-Semitic at that point.
Trying to delegitimize the reporting by smearing my character. A catastrophic, by the way, PR strategy, which is dressed up as a lawsuit. Okay. It's incredible if you read through this, guys, that Brigitte actually and intentionally defames me throughout the filing.
Okay.
Says all of these things that are untrue. Attributes quotations to me that I've never said.
That's funny as hell. Like, no. I didn't defame you. You defamed me. What the hell are you talking about? Like, all right, come on now, Candace. Let's be real. Let's not be childish about it. She definitely is calling for defamation, but Candace actually has a pretty strong case of one. Like I said, as the lawyer said, oh, she knew that she was lying. Well, obviously she don't. I mean, and two, well, you guys had all this time to set Candace straight, and the dude lied on CNN saying, oh, yeah, we did. We sent her proof, but you did it. You pretty much just used the uppity tone of, we don't got to tell you shit. So, be real with you. Candace actually does have a pretty strong case, and it might be dropped. And if it gets dropped, I mean, then what else can we say about Brigitte Macron at that point? I mean, she's a man, but nobody's allowed to say it out loud.
Here are just a few of the things that she says about me that have nothing to do, by the way, with her penis. Okay. These are just hilarious points of the lawsuit. Here's one. She has promoted a range of conspiracy theories, including anti-vaccine falsehoods, long debunked anti-Semitic tropes, such as a blood libel and Holocaust distortion, going so far as to dismiss the atrocities of Joseph Mengelé's medical experiments as mere propaganda. Her content is not intended to inform, but to inflame and attract the attention through sensationalism and conspiracy theories. None of that is true. None of that is true. Unfortunately, too many people watch my podcast. They're not going to believe you. But again, you're appealing to the people that don't watch podcasts, right? You're like, oh, look, Holocaust denier. Don't even look at the series. Or Holocaust distorter. I didn't even mention Joseph Mengele and what Brigitte's referring to. But that doesn't matter.
And out of that, I'd ask you to watch the Becoming Brigitte series that Candace put out. I mean, I think it's on her. It's pretty sure it's all lined up on her channel. I would definitely give that a look before you guys get too critical of Candace.
Again, this has nothing to do with the substance of what they're coming after me for, but they're including this because they want their friends to go, oh, well, I better not listen to anything else. It says right here in the lawsuit that she's a Holocaust distorter. Yeah. It goes on in the lawsuit to state this. Owens alleged that secret Jewish gangs commit horrific things in Hollywood. You'll note here that they only put gangs in quotations and horrific things, but it was fun for them to add Jewish.
And I mean, Owens alleged that secret Jewish gangs. I mean, well, let's be honest. The Jewish mafia did find Hollywood. It's been reported all over. I mean, even books have been wrote on how a bunch of Jewish people showed up, created Hollywood, and then they became the Jewish mafia who did a whole bunch of blackmail operations on people. I mean, without the CIA, I mean, they just did it just to gain a leg up on people to have them do great movies for a crappy price. But I mean, hey, though, shout out to the Jewish mafia, right? I mean, shout out to the Italian mafia as well, because they also have their hands in Hollywood too. But on social media, she repeated the long debunked, the blood libel, the myth that Jews drank the blood of Christian children. She never said that, but that did come from I think England, and why they got kicked out of England because they were drinking the blood of Christians. Allegedly, it was never confirmed true or not, but that's what they said to kick them out in the 1200s. So yeah.
And on social media, she repeated the long debunked blood libel myth that Jewish people drink the blood of Christian children. I mean, that is unbelievable. That is the most absurd lie that you could possibly put in a lawsuit. Bring it up. Wouldn't you include?
Yeah, Candace ain't never said nothing about drinking the blood of Christian children. Like she never said that. Like, and I've read up on the topic of that, but I've never heard Candace say it.
That in the lawsuit with a picture of that, I said that Jews are going around drinking the blood of Christian children. Are you out of your mind? Yes, Brigitte.
Oh yeah, the Jewish mafia hid inside the government, and then they persecuted or got the government to go after the Italian mafia. That's why we don't ever really hear about the Jewish mafia, because they was working with the Italian mafia, but they found a way to kind of work themselves into our government or intelligence, and then kind of left the Italian mafia to be, hunted down.
You are out of your effing mind. This is your strategy. You're defaming me because you don't want people to continue to watch the series. But I'm sorry, my friend, the train has left the station. There's even a section of this lawsuit, which is hilarious because they list quote unquote factual statements and they're not factual at all. I don't even know if Claire Locke knows what the definition of a fact is. This is it. Let me pull this up for you. It's literally entitled Factual Allegations, and right under, President Macron rose to the power in France, embodying a modern dynamic image of leadership that resonates with many citizens. Like that, that is not a factual statement. You can't just be like, factual statement.
I mean, glazing is not a factual statement. I mean, this definitely sounded like a personal opinion.
I am beautiful and powerful and dynamic, and people love me. What are we doing?
Factual statement.
What are we doing here? I think it even says more as a factual statement. Pull that up again. It says, yeah, from an early age, he demonstrated intellectual curiosity and emotional sensitivity. Homie, that is not a factual statement. Just because you label it factual statement does not make it so. Then they have this statement, which is just false. Candace has a British citizenship through her husband, George. No, I don't. I am not a British citizen. You can't just say stuff. You can't just put stuff on paper. What are you doing? What is the point of that? The next statement, it reads, French courts said Natasha Ray and Amandine Roy defamed Brigitte. Okay, well, that's called a lie by omission because not mentioned here is the rather negating fact that the higher French courts said she didn't defame you. Okay? Again, you're trying to groom the courtrooms here. I feel like this is what Brigitte's trying. You're trying to groom our courtrooms into believing these lies. And then they introduce this as another fact. They write, quote, she, meaning me, launched her website fueled by her desire to make these specific false claims about the Macrons without adhering to content moderation policies. What? I launched CandaceOwens.com because I wanted to be able to speak about your relation. Are you crazy? I have an entire Shot in the Dark series. We have covered so many things. How can you just say that that's a fact? That's completely absurd. The entire series is available on YouTube right now. Okay? Right now. Then they write this, which is ridiculous. They said Owens supported these claims of violence and criminality with statements that the Macrons are surrounded by criminals, pedophiles, and a quote unquote extraordinary syndicate. She claimed that they purposefully hire employees who, quote, will break you down and use, quote, tactics of blackmail and coercion. Again, sampling quotations and accusing me here, I think, of telling the truth about the people that you hire, the people that are around you and the things that they have been accused of. First and foremost, Mimi Marchand. Yeah, your PR thug. Let's just check out Mimi's Wikipedia page. Since this is like coming up from Candace, I think Mimi's been in some trouble. We can scroll down here. I think it's under her, yeah, here it is. Controversies. In addition to her criminal past, Marchand was accused or suspected of forging documents in several cases, including a false marriage certificate to Vincent Linden and Caroline of Monaco and a fabricated interview. Like that might be relevant. That this was the person that everyone had to go through to learn anything about your past. That what limited photos you provided, what were there, a total of 4 from before the time that you were 30 when you were married, all went through Mimi Marchand, who has been in trouble for producing false documents. That might be relevant. It might be relevant also. We mentioned
AKA she's Mrs. Make It Make Sense. If it don't make sense, give it to that lady and she'll make it make sense.
Claude Levesque.
Shout out to Miss Make It Make Sense.
Yeah. Did you not handpick him as the artist? Did you not use his carpet? And then he later got charged with rape and sexual assault of minors. You were very involved in styling the office of your husband. Did I lie when I mentioned Olivier Duhamel, the person who played a significant role in Macron's campaign? Did I lie when I said that you guys worked with him on the campaign, and then he admitted to molesting his stepson?
Whoa.
When his stepdaughter came out and said that they would have these weird parties, people got molested. Where did I lie? You can't just put things in quotation marks and pretend like I was not justified in presenting the facts of the cast of characters that surround you, the many. And that's just naming a few on this episode. Go back and watch the series. You can't hide this stuff.
I mean,
and then I have to tell you guys, there's a portion where the lawsuit is just funny, right? Like, I don't even know where they're going with this. They wrote, she posted a photo on X of Owens in a t-shirt showcasing a fake Time Magazine Man of the Year cover featuring Mrs. Macron. The shirt sold out. I thought that was funny. So, I did.
I'm sorry, but it's hilarious. Oh, they said, oh, they made fun of me on the shirt, and it was a bestseller. Well, hey, shout out to monetization.
Stocked this shirt. We are restocking this. We're going to go ahead and sell 1,000 more. So if you want to get your Man of the Year t-shirt, you can do that right now, because what's your claim here? I sold a t-shirt, a parody.
I know I need to get me some merch soon though, but my merch is going to be